God damn, that's bright. Man, that's too bright. I thought I could do it. I thought I could not. Do that. I'm curious. Will this show? Oh shit. It does. Oh wait. I don't think it is. It's only showing on the. Oh, but it is both monitors. Okay. This'll work. Alright, next bit of C++. Let's go. Naming collisions and namespaces. I know we can do using namespace standard std colon. Then I don't have to do the inheritance. I'm not really sure what a namespace. It seems like it's a class. There's inheritance to get to. Maybe the inheritance operator is something that you can get classes and from namespaces and from something. I don't know. Speaking out of turn, find out. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, same thing with variables and functions. There are rules for duplicating definition. It can only be defined. You can't redefine it. The one identifier can only be defined once under most cases. Yeah, two identical identifiers in a way. That way are the parameters the same? Oh, well, we got our name conflict, name collision. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. Function variable. Got one file. It's coming from this file. I have to find it in both places. This program file. Then there'll be a linker error because separate one that's defined the same way. Name collision. Move my function into. Yep. If it was defining a type or a template, it would be okay if those definitions are identical. They're not. Okay, makes sense. There's redefinition of my function. Yeah, makes sense. Cause yeah, linker checks regardless of whether stuff is called. Well, it checks both. If something is called, it checks to make sure that it's fine. Even before then, it checks. Okay, so at first it checks for name. Then if there aren't any collisions, then it goes matches the call up to make sure that the parameters or the arguments match the parameters. Yeah. Yep, makes sense. Oh, yeah. File error if it's the same file, linker error if it's in different files in the same program. Yep. Yeah, it's a pretty dang good mechanism, local scope. Yeah, because otherwise X and X. Anytime I do a for loop, IJK, all that shit, I 0 and I is less than 5, I plus I apparently. Yeah, I'd be screwed if every time I did I, then it was like, then it's a global scope and I never use I again. I mean, yeah, you'd run out of names. Use specific long names. Yeah, true, because functions are, I guess, basically global, like global variable. Where you have the function one file, another, same, error. How do we keep function names? Like region. Okay. Namespace. Space is one type, maybe. And I'm putting music on, but I'm muting it in the stream just so I can freaking upload fast. Because it takes so fucking long to check. Seriously, it's like 30 more minutes to check. True. Okay. So this might actually be okay in a second. Okay. Oh, whoops. Got to fix this. I think I'm gonna do right. I had my schedule set up so that I would do game dev and then C++ before bed, but I think game dev before bed might be better. I might just go by feel, but I want to have it pretty scheduled and regimented. And the recording works. Like right now, I have to learn C++ because I'm recording. I can't end the recording either. I'm just not. I just can't. Nothing in me wants to either. So it's like once I've started, that bowl is going. Really? Oh, wait, well, yeah, duh. Separate scope regions without. But within a given scope region, all must be unique. Okay, makes sense. So scope region, isn't it just an area of scope? Area of source scope where all declared identifiers are considered distinct from ones in other scopes. Okay, yes, a scope. So local scope is a type of scope region. Oh, this is good. You know, I'll keep it this volume, and then if it's fine and it doesn't fuck me over on YouTube, then I'll keep doing this. Oh, 4 is really good. Com trues. Yeah, it makes sense. Scope region. Okay. Body of a function is 1. To identically. Makes sense. 2 different scope regions. Yeah. Makes sense. I love this lingo, man. The compiler will complain. I love the personification of what's happening. Or the, there's a longer word. Maybe it's not personification. Personify. Anthropomorphize, I think is the word. Something like that, where we're taking human characteristics and putting them into a non-human thing, which is funny. The compiler complains. I like treating it like it's its own sentient thing, and it's like, no, man, you didn't say it right. Man, fuck you, bitch. Let me learn. So I have to learn how to, like, it's like some annoying lady I have to, like, tread carefully around and learn her rules. But if I treat her properly, she might leave a freaking grape pie. Oh, grape pie has to be good. A grape pie on the window. Apple pie is good too. Pear pie is good too. A namespace is another type of scope region called namespace scope instead of local scope. And I'm gonna do 2 hours of programming, so an hour and 49 left. So 3 hours total. Because I was gonna do 5 hours, but I'm gonna just start with 4 hours total of stuff that I have scheduled. Because recently, like before I wasn't doing C++, I was just doing game dev. And I want to do more and I want to have it scheduled, so I need to do more. Before I was doing like 1 to 3 hours, it would just kind of vary. It usually wouldn't be 3. Nah, it'd probably be like 1 to 2 really. Sometimes less. Often less. Like 40 minutes to that. I mean, that's enough to improve, obviously. Like if you do exercises for freaking 45 minutes a day, I mean, dude, you're gonna get fucking strong. Same thing here. Like, I'm much better already. Same thing with game dev. I'm not doing 8 hours every day, but I need to start climbing up there. So once I have a better job and I work less, or I just have my time managed better, then I'll be locked in. It's just that I like keeping myself motivated. So I have to watch videos and do stuff, like I'm rewatching Critical Role, Campaign 2, and some things I just need to do because it makes me, doing those things keeps my bar up, and the bar is what makes me want to do this whole game stuff in the first place, and to change career, so. Or really to start a career. I don't have a career. I'm 25. Should have one. Should be good, but I don't. I was too slow. Too many changes. Alright. Doesn't matter. That's all good stuff. Namespace allows you... So it's basically just a different form of scope. So I can have a namespace within a function, maybe? To give me a local scope? Oh, and then I can say... in the namespace. To get that. So there's X, but then there's X in the namespace, maybe. Two functions with a... Alright, so a name declared... A name... Well, just say an identifier. A name declared within the scope region is distinct from any identical name in another scope. Makes sense. Two functions, identical declarations can be defined inside different namespaces. Okay. Namespaces may only contain declarations and definitions. Executable statements are not allowed unless they're part of a definition. Within a function. Okay, so they're allowed within a function. Okay. But variables too. So we're basically just allowed to, yeah, it makes sense to define stuff, instantiate stuff. I guess we're not instantiating because we're running something from a namespace. We're not just, the namespace isn't doing its own thing. Or using the namespace. Oh, that's why we call it using namespace. Okay. Yeah, because we have an input parameter, and then we multiply it by a constant, and then we get a value. Can only do that in the function. Can't just do it straight up. Makes sense, because we have to use something in the namespace. I can't just use 5 times 3. Like, what? I have to actually get it by having it be a function. Something that explicitly does something, or has memory, maybe. Something like that. And is referenceable. But you could do that for, yeah, variables. That makes sense, yeah. I can't reference 5 times 3 because then the value's lost. It has to be within something. Okay. Oh, so later on we'll learn about how to make namespaces. So we'll learn about them now. Any name not defined in a class, function, or namespace is part of the implicit global namespace. Oh, so I could technically have an X outside of main and X inside of main? Is that right? But then how would I get one versus the other? I don't even know. Alright, we'll open this guy up and then... So that's global. Global namespace. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. But you can't define a function inside another function, so... The only way to have the functions that are... Okay, you'd have to use an actual namespace itself, a different namespace, in order to get another scope region, in order to define another function within it, or inside of it, that has already been defined with the same identifier elsewhere in another scope. Then you can use both. But then you have to say, in that namespace, use it. Or using that namespace. But then you still have to distinguish between it, because two functions called add with two integers, integer parameters. How do I distinguish between the one that's in the global scope, somewhere in some file, and a namespace? I don't know. Makes sense, yep. Oh, we don't even get global variables yet. Damn. This is cool though, because it's showing me a lot of the rules before I'm actually using the things, which is nice. There's like a piece of skin there. It's like just dry skin in my ear, man. Yeah, it's dry skin that's just building up in the corner. What the hell? I'm getting old. Nothing there. Okay. Hmm. From the point of declaration, really, to the end of the file, then it's destroyed, so no other file can access it then? So if there's a global variable in another file, and I use it in this file, at the end of that, I don't know how that works. I don't know when it goes away, really. It says to the end of the file, but if it's in another file that I'm not currently running, let's say I go down to here and then I get that variable. When does this file where that variable is end? When does it end? When does that file end? I don't know. Oh, well, it doesn't have a main function, so... Is it even executing sequentially? I don't even know. Executable statements are not allowed in any names. Well, in namespaces. So the point is, inside a function, that's not a namespace. There's the global namespace. And that's the only namespace we know right now. We know about different scope regions. We know global scope. We know the global namespace. I don't know any other namespaces right now. Here's another standard namespace. Oh shit, dude, ComTrues is fantastic. Makes sense. Yeah, it's not a constant global variable, and it's also default initialized. Same thing, it's also not constant, but it does have initializer, and it's direct list initialization. And then that's just a statement. It's an operation. Not what we want. It's an expression, which is a statement. Makes sense. Defining main. Excuse me, sorry. And goo with the function declaration, but it hasn't been made yet, so we assume that it's forward. I don't know if we can actually assume that, but we do. Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, because if we had the namespace and we didn't have to do the standard and then the inheritance operator, the colon, we just used cout. If I had anything else, a variable somewhere else that's global, i.e. within the same scope as this, I couldn't then define that variable global over here because it's within the same global namespace. It's within the same scope region, which is the global namespace. It makes sense because when we include it, then all of a sudden everything in there can now conflict with my stuff. Oh, true. Yeah, you're used to using a standard library in one without the standard colon shit. And right then, you're not conflicting because nothing in the standard library conflicts with what you've got. But in the next update, they added something that does. Oh man, I'm getting sleepy. Holy shit. Yeah, it makes sense. STD. Oh shit, STD. I didn't even realize. It's actually just C out, character output, and then standard is the namespace that it's part of. Yep. Because it's defined, it won't conflict. Man, I'm getting sleepy. My eyeballs are just chilling. Oh, it's the only thing I can't sleep in this chair. No head catch. Probably a good thing. Hmm. Yeah, because if it's global, we can always use it. But if it's non-global, we have to say where we're using it. We have to say the name of the namespace. A few ways to do this. Explicit namespace standard. Get standards, C out. What? Scope resolution operator? Identifier to the left is the namespace. And the thing to the right is contained in it. Makes sense. Yeah, because if you start using it, then you just do C out. Then if you already have C out, you're basically just going back to freaking normal, which is going back to before everything was moved to the namespace. Okay, all right, I'm gonna upload this.